Majjhima Nikāya, Kāyagatāsati Sutta. Kāya is translated, it means the physical body. Kāya. But in some places, Kāya defines as the mental body. Yeah. Kāya defines as the mentality, the thinking. Sati means basically awareness. Right? Sati is usually translated as mindfulness, awareness, not concentration. So what is the difference between this awareness and concentration? When the concentration happens, that is something not moving, not changing, not shifting the object of concentration. Whatever happens around you, you ignore them, you avoid them, and continue to focus on one particular object. That is concentration. But when the concentration is shifting according to the priority of the objects, now there are many things happening here. The fan is moving, lights are on, air conditioned is working, the cool air touches our bodies. At the same time you are sitting down, you can feel the chair. Right? If the dogs bark outside, you can hear them also. But none of these are the major focus of your action, of your concentration. Right? Major focus is the words coming out of my mouth. And these words are also not just same word. Words are shifting. So if you are shifting with me, with the words, going on, flowing with the words, then you are being aware. Sati is there. But of course, awareness cannot function if there is no concentration. So though we use two terms like samādhi and sati, samādhi for concentration and sati for awareness, but actually it is the same function. When the concentration is stuck somewhere without moving by choice, we call it samādhi. When the concentration is shifting from one object to another, as the priority comes, we call it sati, awareness. That's the difference. So, Kāyagatāsati, on this body, on this physical body, if you select a one point and focus only that point, then it is concentration. For example, you can focus on the breathing. You can focus on the movement of your abdomen. Right? Then it is concentration. Not the whole body. But you can be aware of the movement of the body or parts of the body. That is awareness. So with the body, awareness comes. With the body, concentration cannot come. Cannot happen. Yeah? In Buddhism, the physical body is considered as the other extreme. As the other extreme is the physical body. What is the other extreme? Mental body. This life is a consistency or a togetherness of the physical body, that is physicality and mentality, or the spiritual body. The spiritual body cannot last, cannot continue if there is no physical body. So once you leave this body, do you think you will be hanging around without a body? No. Just as you leave the body, you have no physical body, you will jump into a body. Maybe a subtle body, a deva, a ghost. Subtle to us, because they are mostly invisible to us. But still it is a body, a physical body. In the realm of sensual pleasures, what are the realms of sensual pleasures? 4 hells, 1 humans, 6 heavens, 6 celestial realms. In these 11 realms of sensual pleasures, you are not to survive, not to be without a body. You must have a body. So the body is a one extreme of our life. Spirituality is the other extreme. During the Buddha's time, there were all sorts of religions. One religion, they said, once the body dies, you are finished. You are no more. Nothing exists after the body gone. So why worry about the next life? Enjoy. Enjoy this life. No money? Loan. Get some? Enjoy. Who cares what happened after death? And moreover, you are not there anymore. Body dies, you are gone. This is one extreme. Yeah. No mother, no father, no future life, no past life. One extreme. Their concern is only about the body. Are there not people like this today? There are. There are people even today. Just worry about their physical body, that's all. How to enjoy more and more is the only concern. That is one extreme. The other extreme rejected the physical body in the sense their worry is only about the mental body, spiritual body. Their spirituality is their only concern. For them, body is a hindrance, an obstacle, a difficulty. Body is a trouble. And moreover, all the karma you generated in the past, in the present, are in your body. Nowhere else. Because the body is the source of creating karma. There's a truth behind it, but not the absolute truth. Because if there is no mind, the body cannot create karma. So torture the body. Make the body suffering. Give the ultimate suffering to the body. Torture the body so that you can get rid of your karma. Then you can develop your spirituality. Their concern is only about the spiritual body, not the physical body. Then what happened? They were trying to destroy their body, physical body. Yeah. Even today in India, like those people, there are people like that. Torture the body. They are called sadhus. Sadhus, the noblemen. They become noble as much as you torture your physical body. More and more discomfort given to the body, you become spiritual. Even today we have that idea, right? If somebody, a monk or a lay person, though he can live a comfortable life, he lives the most uncomfortable life, most suffering giving to the body. He rejects all those comforts we think. Yeah. He rejects. more and more he rejects the comforts of the body, then what happened? More and more he becomes noble in our eyes. More respectful in your eyes. But within himself, there may be nothing such development, no transformation, no development within himself. But in the appearance, on the surface level, you can find he is torturing his body. Yeah? He's torturing his body. Then he becomes more and more. Now people become vegetarians. Yeah. If you become vegetarian out of compassion to the world, that's very good. Great, noble. Out of compassion, you become a vegetarian. Yeah? Then you do not look down upon others. You do not look down upon the carnivores, people who eat meat. Am I correct? That word, right? Carnivores. And you don't try to socialize it. You don't try to force others also to follow you. You are a vegetarian, that's good enough. Why you want to force others to follow you? Because you are not a real vegetarian. You are forcing yourself to become vegetarian for any reason, but not the real reason. Real reason, if somebody to become vegetarian, it is happening within himself first. That is compassion. If someone to become vegetarian, the real reason is compassion. That's all. When you develop your compassion to such a degree, naturally you cannot eat meat. Naturally you cannot eat. But if you don't have that compassion, then there is something ulterior motive behind it. Maybe to renown himself. Maybe to look good himself. Maybe to look down upon others. Maybe following some master blindly. Yeah? One of these things. But not the real motive. The real motive will be natural motive. That is compassion. That compassion may happen by birth. That compassion may happen by Vipassanā. Out of that, because of that compassion, if somebody becomes vegetarian, that is beautiful. Or else you are just joking. you are just deceiving yourself. That's all. You are just deceiving yourself. So the torturing body more and more can become an exhibition so that the others respect that come to him. But Buddha rejected both these things. Buddha rejected this concern only for the body, and he rejected the idea that you should torture the body. Right? Rejecting these two extremes of self-indulgence and mortification. Rejecting these two extremes, Buddha came to a middle path which embraces both sides, which embraces the both extremes of body and the mind. That's why sometimes people come to see the Buddha or listen to him. Sometimes the question being asked, are you hungry? Have you eaten your food? If you are being tortured with your hunger within you, you cannot listen. This Dhamma will not come into you. Because physical body is being tortured with your hunger. The physical comfort is a necessity. Not for indulgence, but for the necessity. You must keep your physical body in comfort. People go for meditation. They cannot sit long on the cushions, cross-legged, but still they want to do that. They start meditation with the torturing. With the torturing of the body, they start meditation. Cannot go long, cannot last long, cannot go far. Keep the body in a comfort level. If your body is very much discomfort, how can you concentrate in the first place? Don't follow others. Just because others can sit cross-legged, it doesn't mean that you have to do it. What matters is your comfort first. Begin with the comfort, physically comfort, and then mentally comfort. When you are rich in these both sides of mentality and physicality, being comfortable and being rich, then you are in the middle path. Don't torture any side, neither the mentality nor the physicality. Don't torture any side. Keep both sides in the middle. So therefore, in Buddhism, the physical body is not to be tortured, but keep it as kind of a comfortable posture, comfortable level. Then you develop the mental body. Yeah. That's how it should happen. So with that, we go to the contents of this sutta. Buddha uttered this sutta in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika's Park, his usual lodging, his headquarters. Normally, in the evening, after lunch, Buddha take a rest. The Bhagavan will go to his quarters and have a rest. Yeah. Then come back to the Dhamma hall. By that time, all the monks have gathered. Before the Buddha coming, they have gathered and they have discussions. What kind of discussions they have? That's what the Buddha's question. When he come and sit on his chair, he asked the monks, what were you discussing? What kind of discussion were disturbed since I arrived? What were you talking? Basically, they will talk about Dhamma. They will talk about Dhamma because there are 30 talks prohibited. No political talks, no social matters, only related to the Dhamma. And Buddha will give the talk, will teach the Dhamma based on that discussion. Based on that discussion. That's how things happen. Many suttas you can find like that. Monks are discussing and Buddha will give a further explanation of what they were discussing or a correction of those discussions. So this sutta also happened in a situation like that, where monks were discussing and the Buddha came and asked, what were you discussing? Then the monk said, we were discussing about the mindfulness of the body, awareness of the body. When developed and cultivated, that awareness of the body will give that person the greatest benefit. So then Buddha started explaining the method, the art, the techniques of developing the mindfulness on the body. He started with what? He started with the mindfulness of breathing. Mindfulness of breathing. We were discussing on this mindfulness of breathing in the last week. Not last week, last before. Right? Ānāpānasati Sutta. Do we breathe? Yes, we breathe, but we don't do that. It is happening. When the lungs are closing and opening, when the lungs open, the breaths come in. When the lungs close, breaths go out. Natural process is happening. This natural process happening, and you are being aware of it. You can concentrate on this breathing. Now, if you say we are concentrating on the breathing, that is the beginning part. Beginning. The beginner has to forget everything else, even forget himself, thoroughly focused on the touch of the breath. Forget everything else. But when you are talking about being aware of the touch of the breath, being aware of the mindfulness, what does it mean? It means you don't forget yourself. You have to be aware of the one who breathes and the breathing which is happening. Now, for example, you may do some work, okay, and you can be immersed in the work. You forget yourself. Now, the doctors, the surgeons, they do surgeries, very difficult surgeries sometimes. 4 hours they are standing. Yeah. Sometimes 5 to 6 hours they spend on a surgery. Standing. Only at the end of the surgery they feel tiredness. They feel very tired. That standing so long on their feet. Yeah. Then what happened? What is this happening? They were concentrating on the object and they forgot themselves, right? That is concentration. Awareness is to remember also themselves. What is going on with you? So, while observing this physical body, or while the physical body keeping the background, or while you are being aware of it, you breathe in and out. While you are being aware of your physical body, you breathe in and out. This is the method of the first technique of to be aware of your physical body. The first technique. This is being explained in another manner also. That is, to be aware of the beginning of the breath, the middle of the breath, the end of the breath. You know that? Do you understand? Like a car or a vehicle going into a garage. You are at the door. You are in the middle. The car is in the middle of the door. And car has gone into the garage. In the same manner, when you have developed an acute concentration, it takes long time. An acute concentration that you can be aware of the beginning of the touch of the breath and the breath going on, going into your system, and you can see it all the way. All the way. That is the second idea of observing the physical body of the breath. Physical body of the breath. Another monk has explained this as observing the breath going through the nostrils and then go to your heart and the stomach. Right? It ends up in the stomach, right? And coming back from there to the out. But this is more difficult to observe. More difficult to observe. But though it is difficult, it doesn't mean that it is something you cannot do. It is doable. It is possible. With the development of awareness, it can happen. So this is the third three kinds of method to observe the breathing. One technique is, while being aware of your physical body, you breathe in and out. Second one is observing the beginning, middle and the end of the breathing, in and out. The third one is observing the breathing all the way in the body, going in and all the way coming out from the body. Yeah. So this is the first step. This is the first step, or the kind of practice or the awareness on the breathing, as it is explained that this is the one method of practicing on the body of the breath. Right? The body of the breath. The second one is the 4 postures. What are the 4 postures? Sitting, standing, walking, lying down. Not sleeping, okay? Sleeping happens after that. Lying down. In these 4 postures, to be mindful. This is the second technique the Buddha teach, the Kāyagatāsati. To be mindful of your postures. Mindful of your postures. Now, meditators find, once you are practicing this mindfulness on the postures, you can be in one posture without moving at all. Without moving at all. Yeah? You can be in one posture without moving at all. If you develop this awareness continuously, repeatedly, on the postures of your sitting, standing, sleeping, these 3 especially, you can be there without moving at all. Now in the sleep, it says that when Buddha goes to sleep, it's the same way he wake up. He sleep in the lion's posture and he wake up without a subtle changes. Right? This is because of the long-term practice of this awareness on the body. One reason. Yeah? So the second, observing the physical body or the meditation upon the physical body, is observing the postures. The third one is foulness of the body. Foulness of the body. Foulness of the body means what? The parts and parcel of the body. Nowadays, even nowadays, when we do the ordination, I have ordained several people in Sri Lanka. We do that, we cut some hair and give his hand, this hair, keep the hand and meditate. What is the meditation? Kesa, loma, naka, danta, tacho. Kesa, hair. Loma, bodily hair. Hair on the head and bodily hair. Naka, nails. Danta, teeth. Tacho, skin. Okay, this is the practice we can do. Get a picture of the most beautiful or handsome, whoever you adore, keep in front and separate them. Separate him. Separate hair. Any desire? No. Loma, bodily hair. Any desire? No. Right. When you separate, there are 32 parts of the body. When you separate and separate, you will find no more desire in it. The desire for the body gone. Since they are all together, that desire is there. When you separate them, the desire is no more. So, these novices, before they become novices, they are given this practice while they are shaving. Close your eyes and meditate. We will do the shaving. Don't worry about it. Yeah. And what happened in the history, there was this young boy who had a great parami in him. He became an arahant. Just became an arahant before his head was shaved. He became an arahant. And the teacher doesn't know. Because now, only nowadays we have the name tags called arahants. Not those days. Those days they never ever tell you that I am an arahant. Yeah. And those days they will never look down upon you. I am an arahant, you are just a vermin. They will never look down upon you. Yeah. The arahants will see, I found the Buddha within me. You couldn't find the Buddha within you yet. But we are all same, because just you couldn't find the Buddha within you. I found the Buddha within me. When I became arahant, I found the whole world are arahants, but most of them haven't found their Buddha. That's the difference. So the arahants will never develop any pride about their arahanthood. Yeah? So they never talk about it. They will never talk about it. What is the point? Yeah. So this novice was keeping quiet, and the teacher didn't know that his student is already an arahant. Yeah. But he became an arahant even before the ordination. Even before his, when his head was shaved, he is already an arahant. These are the people of parami. People who have parami. Little dust in their eyes, small push enough, they get rid of the defilements. So this meditation on the parts of the physical body caused many people to become arahants. Now in the sutta, these are the parts and parcel of the body, okay? The body in this body. You know, in the Pali there is a kind of a stanza. But if you can memorize this in English, good enough. Yeah, I didn't memorize because I know the Pali already. I have memorized them. So, but if you can memorize this, then you can meditate upon them. Yeah. In this body there are head hairs, body hairs, nails, teeth, like that. Yeah. Skin, flesh, sinews, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, heart, liver, diaphragm, spleen, lungs, intestines, mesentery, contents of the stomach, feces, bile, phlegm, pus or pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, grease, spittle, snot, oil of the joints and urine. Just as though they were a bag with an opening at both ends, full of many sorts of grain, such as hill rice, red rice, beans, peas, millet, and white rice. And a man with good eyes were to open it and review it thus: this is hill rice, this is red rice, these are beans, these are peas. This is how Buddha asked monks to meditate upon the parts of the body. Because, like that novice became an arahant when he is meditating, because he must have been doing this meditation throughout his past life. In the samsara he may have been meditating upon this, and it was connected in this life. What happened? He became an arahant. Yeah? And this is the third one. Third meditation on the body, the foulness, bodily parts. The next one is more deeper, more subtle. They are the elements. Based meditation upon the elements of the body. What are the most elements we can find? 4. Pathavi, the solidity. Apo, the fluidity. Tejo, the heat. Vayu, the wind. This whole body is made out of these 4 elements. And the byproducts out of these four elements. So, but this is more difficult to meditate upon. But still, when you develop your awareness from the most superficial level, that is the breathing, from that level you start developing this awareness on the postures. When you are walking, you are aware of your walk. Sitting, when you are aware of your sitting. Yeah? When you develop this awareness continuously, repeatedly, then that awareness becomes so subtle, so strong. Ultimately, you can be observing even the elements of the body, the four elements. Yeah? I'm not going to read much on this sutta because, we don't have much time. Then Buddha talk about the Jhānas. After that, Buddha talk about the Jhānas. Now, this is interesting, right? First, you were talking about the Vipassanā. Then you are talking about the Samatha suddenly. Yeah? Then this is what happened. When you develop Vipassanā continuously, repeatedly, unknowingly, you are developing the Samatha also. Concentration also. Because in the very beginning I told you that concentration, when it is shifting, called awareness. When the samādhi, the samādhi is being moved to the priority of the objects, then it is called Vipassanā, nothing else. So samādhi and Vipassanā goes hand in hand, supporting each other. So what happened is, unknowingly, though you do not try, unknowingly, the samatha also being developed. Samatha also being developed when you develop Vipassana. So Buddha cannot stop talking himself about the samatha. That's why after that observation of the elements, Buddha started talking about the Jhānas. What are the Jhānas? We all know. In the suttas there are 4 Jhānas, right? 4 Jhānas. Patama, Dutiya, Tatiya, Chatutta. Right? In the Abhidhamma, 5 Jhānas. 5 Jhānas. Right? But remember, the content is just the same. Right? These Jhānas, 5 Jhānas are called what? Rupavachara Jhānas. Why they are called Rupavachara? Fine material Jhāna. Why they are called fine material or Rupavachara? Because if you develop this Jhāna, though when you are dying, you may not have Jhāna, okay? But that development is within you. Do you think the meditators who develop Jhānas can die in the Jhāna? Maybe, but a little percentage. So, if you develop Jhāna, though you don't die while the Jhāna is there, but still the development is there, right? Anytime you can get that Jhāna. The development is within you. Right? Now, when I was practicing in the, in 2012, 11, 12 these years, I did Goenka Vipassanā. But I was teaching at the same time. I was going to Sangha College to teach. But whenever I have time, I go to the center, practice. At that time, I found, now, when I sit on the chair for teaching, right? If I sit like this, it doesn't happen. But if I sit like this, my mind goes nowhere but come here. Suddenly, it goes blank. Suddenly, it is on the concentration of breathing. Nothing, I never thought of bringing it even. It is naturally there. Right? Then that master, when I talk about it with the assistant teacher, he said, meditation is in your body, is in your system. The development is still there. Now, this is what happens when you continuously practice. So, when you are dying, the jhana may not there. You cannot die with the jhana, but the development is still there, right? It is in the system. So you will be born in the relevant jhana realm. Relevant jhana realm. Right? But you will be born in the jhana realm where the physical body is there. You can talk, you can go around, you can come to listen to the Buddha if you want. The Brahmas in the fine material, those who came to listen to the Buddha, yeah, they are in the fine material Brahma realm. But there are meditators who go beyond this 5 jhana. They are called, they go beyond the physical realm, physical level. Yeah? Because in the 5th jhana, the object of meditation is a ball of light. In the 5th jhana, the object of meditation is a ball of light. It is a ball of fire, we can say, emanating light. Now what the meditator does he develops this light until to the infinity. He develops this light, and based on that light he meditate. He get rid of this light and go to the space, and he meditate on the space. Since he got rid of the physical body, since he entered to the non-physical space, if he is to die and born, he will be born without a physical body, because he got rid of the attachment to the physical body. Yeah. So there are also how many? 4 jhanas. 4 jhanas. Right? Now these jhanas provide the background for Vipassanā to happen. For Vipassanā to happen. Right? Therefore, though the jhanas are not absolutely Buddhism, I mean Buddha's discovery or something, jhanas are not absolutely discovered by the Buddha. Before the Buddha arose, jhanas were already there. Teachers taught him to get to jhana, how to get jhanas, you know that? Yeah? Jhanas were already there. But Buddha found, though he didn't discover himself, these are supporting for the Vipassanā to happen. That's why in almost all these suttas, Buddha talk about the Rupavachara, Arupavachara, fine material and immaterial jhanas before he talk about the Vipassanā. Before he talk about the Vipassanā. But in this particular sutta, Buddha first talk about the Vipassanā, then he talk about the jhanas. Right? If without jhana can become enlightened. If someone become enlightened, become an arahant without jhana, he is called who? Sukha Vipassaka. Sukha Vipassaka, that is the Pali term given to those arahants who have no jhana. Who have no jhana but have become arahants. They are called Sukha Vipassaka. Sukha Vipassaka. Yeah? And there are arahants who have become enlightened without the help of jhana, without the background of jhana. And there are arahants who have become enlightened with the background of the jhana. Okay? With the background of the jhana, they become enlightened. And without the background of jhana, they become enlightened. So both men are possible. So jhana is not a mandatory for enlightenment, but can be a supportive factor for enlightenment. That's why Buddha placed with these two placed with this, Sometimes he begins with the jhana, ends up in Vipassanā. Sometimes he begins with Vipassanā and goes to the jhana. Right? It doesn't matter. You can eat fruits and sweets before your main course, or you can eat after the main course. Right? But goes to the same place, huh? Yeah. Okay, that's enough. Yeah. So.